Hello and welcome to Learn English Through Stories. I'm your narrator, and today I have a wonderful story for you. The story is called The Train to Istanbul. It is an intermediate level story, suitable for B1 to B2 learners. Before we begin, let's look at 5 important words you will hear in this story. These words will help you understand the story better. First word, journey ***. A journey is the act of traveling from one place to another. It can be a long trip, often by train, car, or boat. In this story, a young man takes a long journey across Turkey. Second word, destination ***. A destination is the place you are traveling to. It is the end of your journey. For example, if you travel from Paris to London, London is your destination. Third word, compartment ***. A compartment is a small, separate room on a train. Passengers sit in compartments during long train journeys. Each compartment usually has seats and a door that closes. Fourth word, to strike up a conversation ***. This is an idiom. To strike up a conversation means to start talking to someone you do not know. For example, you might strike up a conversation with a stranger on a train. Fifth word, landscape ***. Landscape refers to the land you can see around you, the hills, the fields, the mountains, the rivers. When you look out of a train window, you see the landscape passing by. Now, listen to these words one more time. Journey, destination, compartment, to strike up a conversation, landscape. Keep them in mind as you listen to the story. The sun was setting over the city of Ankara as Marcus stepped onto the train platform. He was 23 years old, with a backpack that was too heavy and a heart that was too full of questions. He had just finished university and was not sure what to do with his life. A friend had told him, "Go to Istanbul. It will change you." So Marcus bought a ticket for the night train, found his seat, and waited for the journey to begin. The train was old but comfortable. Marcus had booked a sleeper compartment, a small room with 2 benches that folded out into beds. There was a window that looked out onto the platform, and beyond that, the city was turning gold and orange in the evening light. The train whistled, a long, low sound, and slowly, it began to move. For the first hour, Marcus sat by the window and watched the city disappear. The buildings became smaller, then fewer, then they were replaced by fields and hills. The landscape of central Turkey opened up before him like a painting. There were vast flat plains of brown and gold, broken only by the occasional cluster of trees or a distant farmhouse. The sky was enormous, bigger than any sky Marcus had ever seen. It stretched from one side of the horizon to the other, turning from orange to pink to a deep, dark blue as night came on. When the train stopped at a small station, an old man stepped into Marcus's compartment. He was perhaps 70 years old, with a weathered face, deep brown eyes, and a white mustache that curved up at the corners. He wore a dark blue jacket and carried a small leather bag. He nodded politely and sat down across from Marcus. For a while, neither of them spoke. The train moved on, and the lights of the station disappeared behind them. The old man took out a small package of food, bread, cheese, and some olives, and began to eat slowly. Marcus watched the darkness outside the window. There was nothing to see now, but the occasional distant light from a village far away. It was the old man who struck up a conversation first. He looked at Marcus and said, in careful but accented English, "First time in Turkey." Marcus smiled. "Yes. Is it that obvious?" The old man laughed. It was a warm, gentle laugh. "Not obvious. But I have been on this train many times, and I can always recognize a young person who is searching for something." Marcus was surprised. "What do you mean?" The old man set down his bread and looked out the window. "I mean that there are 2 kinds of travelers. The first kind is going somewhere. They know where they are going, and they know why. The second kind is running away from something, or perhaps running towards something they cannot name. You, my friend, are the second kind." Marcus did not know what to say, because the old man was right. He had come to Turkey because he was lost. University was over, and the future was a blank page he did not know how to fill. So he just nodded. The old man introduced himself. His name was Kemal. He had been a teacher for 40 years in a small town near the coast, and now he was retired. He was going to Istanbul to visit his daughter and her children. He had made this journey many times, by bus, by car, and by train, and he said the train was always his favorite way. "Why the train?" Marcus asked. Kemal thought for a moment. "Because the train gives you time," he said. "An airplane is too fast. You are in one city, and then suddenly you are in another. A car is too stressful. You must watch the road. But a train gives you time to think, time to watch, time to talk to strangers. On a train, the journey is the destination. Marcus thought about this. He had always been focused on destinations, the next exam, the next grade, the next step. He had never thought about the value of the journey itself. Kemal shared his food with Marcus, and they talked for hours. Kemal told stories about his life, about his years as a teacher, about the students he had loved, about his wife who had died 5 years ago. He spoke about Turkey with a deep, quiet passion. He described the coast where he lived, the way the sea changed color through the day, the smell of the pine trees in the mountains behind his house. He described Istanbul as a city where two continents met, where the old world and the new world were always side by side. Turkey is a country of layers, Kemal said. Every place you go, there is something underneath. Under a modern building, there is an old house. Under the old house, there is a Roman wall. Under the Roman wall, there is something even older. It is the same with people. Under the surface, there is always more. As they talked, the train climbed into the mountains. Marcus felt the change in the air. It became cooler, and the sound of the engine deepened as the train wound its way through passes and tunnels. When they passed through a tunnel, the compartment went dark, and the only light was a small reading lamp above their heads. Then they would burst out again into the open, and the landscape would be different, steeper, rockier, with fewer lights and more stars. At one point, Kemal opened the window slightly, and the night air poured in, cool, fragrant, carrying the scent of pine trees and distant rain. "Smell that?" Kemal said. "That is the Black Sea coast. We are getting close." Marcus closed his eyes and breathed deeply. He realized that he had not thought about his problems for hours. The conversation, the landscape, the rhythm of the train, all of it had pushed his worries into the background. For the first time in months, he felt present. He felt here. Kemal must have noticed, because he smiled and said, "You see, the journey is doing its work." Eventually, Kemal grew tired. He folded out his bench into a bed, wished Marcus a good night, and was soon asleep, breathing softly and steadily. Marcus stayed by the window for a while longer. The train was descending now, and the landscape was changing again. The mountains gave way to gentler hills, and then to coastal plains. He could see the faint glimmer of water in the distance, the Sea of Marmara, he guessed. The stars were beginning to fade, and the sky was turning from black to a deep, soft gray. Dawn was coming. Marcus must have fallen asleep too, because the next thing he knew, the train was slowing down and there was a gentle knock at the compartment door. It was the conductor, announcing their arrival. Marcus looked out the window and saw that the world had changed completely. The sky was awash of pink and gold, and below it, spreading out in every direction, was Istanbul. Marcus could see the silhouettes of mosques, their domes and minarets rising against the dawn like a city from a dream. He could see the water of the Bosphorus, catching the first light and turning it to silver. He could see bridges, boats, and the distant hills of the Asian side of the city. It was vast and beautiful and ancient and modern all at once. Kemal was awake and packing his small bag. He looked at Marcus and saw the expression on the young man's face. "Beautiful, isn't it?" he said. "It's incredible," Marcus whispered. Kemal put hand on Marcus's shoulder. "Remember what I told you. The journey is the destination. You came here searching for something, and maybe you have not found it yet. But you will. Just keep traveling, keep watching, keep talking to strangers. The answers come on the way." The train pulled into the station. The platform was busy with early morning travelers, businessmen with briefcases, families with children, porters with carts. Marcus and Kemal stepped off the train and stood together for a moment on the platform. "Thank you," Marcus said. "For everything." Kemal smiled. "No, thank you. It is always a pleasure to share a journey with someone who is truly traveling." They shook hands, and then Kemal walked away into the crowd, his small leather bag in his hand, his white mustache catching the early light. Marcus watched him go, and then he turned toward the exit, toward the city, toward whatever was waiting for him in Istanbul. He did not know what it was, but for the first time, he was not afraid of not knowing. He was only eager for the next part of the journey. "Now, let's check your understanding of the story. I will ask you 5 questions. After each question, pause the audio and try to answer. You can write your answer down or just think about it. Question 1. Where does Marcus begin his journey? And where is he going? Pause. Question 2. What kind of traveler does Kemal say Marcus is, and what does he mean? Pause. Question 3. Why does Kemal prefer traveling by train over other forms of transportation? Pause. Question 4. What does Kemal mean when he says Turkey is a country of layers? Pause. Question 5. How has Marcus changed by the end of the story, and what does he feel when he arrives in Istanbul? Pause. Thank you for listening to Learn English Through Stories. I hope you enjoyed the train to Istanbul. If you want to practice more, listen to the story again and try to retell it in your own words. Remember, learning English is a journey, and the journey is the destination. See you in the next story. Goodbye.